Imagine a spiritual master, someone whose influence is, well, global, whose sacred objects are incredibly sought after for their sheer power.
Objects created and given away completely free. Millions of them.
Yeah, millions. Overseeing this huge, non-commercial spiritual network. Yet, his actual identity, his real name, where he even is.
Completely unknown. A total enigma.
We're talking about someone truly unique today.
We are. He's one of the most mysterious and philosophically intense figures in contemporary spiritual circles. Ajarn Mom Niranam Traipoom.
Or, as the insiders call him.
The great anonymous teacher of the three realms. A name that says so much.
So, our mission for this deep dive, using the sources you've gathered, is to try and, peel back some layers on this master who seems impossible to find.
Right. We want to unpack the mystery of this man who actively tries to dissolve his own identity.
We'll dig into his philosophy, this incredible selfless generosity spending, what was it, hundreds of millions of baht?
Hundreds of millions, yeah. All personally funded. We'll look at his unique, which is magical know-how for making these amulets that apparently act like spiritual batteries.
And we absolutely have to look at some specific examples.
Definitely. We'll examine two of his most powerful ones. The Rianhimyang Prajau toxin, that's for national protection, incredibly respected.
And the other one, the Kali charm.
That's right. The Sidej Mai Yuamwang Kali attraction amulet.
Yeah.
Philosophically deep, visually, well, controversial for some.
It's a fascinating study, isn't it? A master achieving huge influence by deliberately cultivating total anonymity.
Precisely. The ultimate paradox.
Okay, let's unpack this then. A teacher hiding himself so completely, he wants the focus entirely on universal principles, not his own ego.
That's the core of it. That deliberate choice, that's really where we have to start. So the first thing, the defining thing about Ajarn Mom is right there in his chosen name, Niranam.
Anonymous.
Exactly. But it's more than just wanting privacy. It's like an active pursuit, a philosophical statement.
Yeah, the sources are really clear. He intentionally never revealed his real name, family name, any personal history, nothing.
And Niranam, meaning anonymous or nameless in the context of spiritual practice, it's about dissolving the self, anatta, transcending worldly attachments like fame.
Which is radical, especially in, spiritual circles where the guru's personality is often front and center.
Precisely. In Thai Buddhism, often faith gets attached to the person of the guru. Ajarn Mom deliberately removes himself, his ego, his personality, from that equation.
So where does that leave the follower?
It forces them, or directs them, to put their faith and reverence solely in the three jewels: the Buddha, the Dharma, his teachings, and the Sangha, the community.
The focus shifts to eternal truth, not the temporary teacher.
Exactly. Away from the guru, towards the principles.
But this creates a strange situation, doesn't it? He seeks total reclusion.
Impossible to find, they say.
Yet, he's also described as a cult status famous master, a trade secret among people in the know. How does that work?
It's extraordinary, isn't it? And I think it speaks directly to the power, the undeniable reported effectiveness of his work, his Wicha.
People might not know his name, but they know the results.
That's it. And because of those results, he's actually recognized at the highest level. He's considered one of the top 10 adept masters of Wicha Sayas art in Thailand.
Wow, that's a huge deal.
It is. And achieving that while actively avoiding fame just underlines the immense respect he commands from everyone.
That respect must also raise questions about his formal status. Is he a lay master? A monk?
Good question. He's generally referred to as a mysterious lay master. You're not ordained.
God, there's a clue, right?
There is. One specific amulet edition, the Samdej Rup Mian Thlang Tao Maha Promanchanavankorn.
Okay, what about it?
Well, this coin, which is made from some pretty potent stuff, sacred pre powders, leklai powders, it actually has a cameo image of a Ajarn Mom on the front.
Ah.
And in that image, he's clearly wearing the saffron robes, the sivara, the robes of a fully ordained Buddhist monk, a bhikkhu.
So he was ordained at some point. He wasn't just a lay practitioner his whole life.
It strongly suggests a period of formal ordination, which adds, another layer of depth to his understanding, his meditation practice, his knowledge of the scriptures.
He had that intense training.
Right. He might choose to live as a laymaster now, perhaps, but his spiritual authority seems rooted in that bhikkhu training.
And the fact that this is only subtly revealed on one of his coins, it just adds to the whole mystery of who he really is.
Exactly. More layers.
Okay, and the second part of his title, Traipoom, the anonymous teacher of the three realms. What does that signify?
It's not just a fancy title. It really defines the scope of his let's say, claimed spiritual mastery.
Traditionally, the three realms are like heaven, hell, and earth.
That's the usual cosmological meaning, yes.
Yeah.
Heaven, hell, the human world. But for Ajarn Mom, it seems to point to something deeper, more related to meditation and liberation.
Okay.
It likely signifies transcending the three fundamental existential conditions that keep beings bound in samsara.
Which are?
The sensual realm, kamaloka. That's where most of us are, driven by senses, desires, attachments.
Right. Standard existence.
Then through deep meditation, you can reach the form realm, rupaloka. You overcome gross sensual desire, but you're still attached to the subtle form of the meditative bliss, like light or peace.
Still an attachment, though.
Still an attachment. And beyond that is the formless realm, arupaloka. Even subtler meditation, transcending even the idea of form, dwelling in, say, infinite space or consciousness.
So by calling himself the teacher of the three realms,
He's implying a mastery that goes beyond just knowing about different worlds. He's suggesting he has navigated and transcended all conditioned existence, from basic craving up to the highest meditative states.
So his name itself is like a statement of his ultimate goal and his detachment from worldly recognition.
Precisely. It's a condensed spiritual resume, really. All about transcendence, nothing about fame. #2, the philosophy of selfless generosity, Dhanabarami.
Okay, so if Niranam, anonymity, is his way of expressing non-self.
Then his dedication to Dhanabarami, the perfection of generosity, that's the practical physical expression of it. His compassion in action.
And the scale here is just mind-boggling. We're not talking about small acts of charity.
Not at all. This is a master who personally funded, organized, and distributed millions of amulets, sacred talismans.
Millions, and all completely free.
Completely free.
Yeah.
The sources estimate he spent hundreds of millions of Thai baht over about a decade with zero commercial interest.
You really have to stop and think about the motivation behind that kind of spending, that kind of effort.
It's pure dhyana,
Yeah.
generating merit through giving, on an industrial scale almost. His stated goal is completely non-commercial.
What is the goal then?
It's deeply spiritual, to foster faith in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, to help preserve Buddhism in the modern age, and crucially, to offer protection for the nation, the monarchy.
So it's strategic giving, not just random acts of kindness.
Very strategic. It's like spiritual infrastructure work. The sources even suggest he sees his actions as helping to bridge this current era to the future age of the next Buddha, Maitreya.
Sri Arya Maitreya in Thai.
Yes. So it's about ensuring the Dharma continues.
Yeah.
And this mission dictates who gets these powerful objects.
They aren't just sold on the open market.
No. They are specifically given, or sometimes offered at cost, just to cover materials for the cause to people in service. Soldiers, police officers, government officials, also ordinary citizens, especially those in dangerous areas.
That targeting is really specific, like the Texan coin we'll talk about later.
Exactly. And even when editions are released through temples, it's explicitly to raise funds. Funds for major projects, building temples, supporting the Sangha, things directly related to keeping Buddhism alive and well.
And you think this total altruism is why he commands so much respect, despite being invisible?
I think it's absolutely key. Both the lay people and the monks respect him immensely. How could you not? His status as a top 10 master isn't sought, it's earned, because the power he wields is clearly never for personal gain.
That quiet, consistent dedication is almost like proof of authenticity.
Yes. The sheer financial and spiritual investment is his proof of concept, in a way. If he's willing to sacrifice that much to give these tools away,
then the tools themselves must be perceived as incredibly powerful.
it creates this amazing feedback loop. His selfless giving generates immense merit. That merit, in turn, fuels his Wicha, his spiritual power,
allowing him to create even more potent objects.
which he then gives away again, further solidifying his spiritual authority, all while remaining anonymous. It's quite something.
All right, let's shift from the why, the philosophy, to the how.
Yeah.
How does Ajarn Mom actually infuse these objects, these amulets, with such concentrated power? This is where his Wicha gets really interesting.
Okay, so his core ritual practice, the empowerment ceremonies known as Buddha Abhiseka, starts with a really important theological point he makes. It sets him apart.
Which is?
He explicitly rejects the idea that he is consecrating the Buddha.
Right. That sounds significant. Why does he reject that?
His reasoning is that the Buddha is already the ultimate, beyond all worlds, beyond all conditions. You can't add to the Buddha's power or status through any human ritual.
The Buddha's power is already infinite, complete.
Exactly. So If the ritual isn't boosting the Buddha, what is it doing?
Good question.
His approach is different. The rituals are designed to connect with the vast, already existing merits of the Buddha, the Bodhisattvas, all the enlightened beings, the celestial deities,
Okay.
and then merge those cosmic energies with his own focused meditative mind. His samadhi. He acts like a conduit,
Channeling that energy.
channeling it, concentrating it, and then transferring that immense spiritual power into the physical amulet.
You used the analogy earlier, vessels for spiritual energy, like batteries.
Yes, that's how it's often described. Like batteries storing and distributing power to those who pray and connect with them.
Now that's interesting because traditional Buddhist thought often emphasizes power coming from within your own mind, right? Not from an external object. Is he offering a shortcut here, or is the battery metaphor just a simple way to explain his intense dedication?
That's a really good point, and it touches on the nuance here. The battery metaphor is helpful, but maybe a bit simplistic. The amulet itself doesn't generate the power out of nothing.
It stores it.
It stores the concentrated merit, the spiritual charge, derived from the master's deep meditation and the invocation of these higher beings during the ceremony. So it acts as a reserve.
A backup power source, maybe?
Kind of. An immediate, accessible spiritual boost for the devotee, especially when they're in need, or maybe lack the time or ability to cultivate that level of power internally at that moment. It's a tool to assist practice, not replace it.
Got it. And the ceremonies themselves, these Buddha Abhiseka events, they sound huge.
Oh, they are. Not small, private things. We're talking large-scale, high-profile gatherings. Massive coordination.
Involving other top masters.
Absolutely. For major editions like that Samdej Rup Human and Coin, the sources say over 100 great master monks from all over Thailand participated in the empowerment rites.
Wow. Who are we talking about?
Really revered figures.
Mhm.
Names like Luang Pu Gleng, Luang Pu Lamai, Projorn Deng, top meditation masters.
Yeah.
Ajarn Mom himself would often initiate the core rites, the Wai Crew, formally inviting the divas and rishis to attend and lend their power.
So even though he is anonymous, the events themselves have this almost state-level spiritual blessing because of who participates.
Exactly. And often there are reports of, well, strange phenomena during these ceremonies.
Such as?
Things like mysterious lights appearing in the sky or weird anomalies showing up in photograph shapes that believers interpret as deities, rishis, bodhisattvas, even nagas, the serpent beings.
Which, for followers, would be seen as proof, right? Validation of the immense spiritual energy being invoked.
Profound validation, yes. Tangible signs that something powerful is happening.
Okay, let's talk about the physical amulets themselves. The artistry, the materials, the muon sarn, his style seems unique.
It is a really distinct blend of Buddhist and sometimes Hindu iconography, often covered in dense, intricate, sacred scripts.
And the scripts themselves are special.
His command over sacred writing is reportedly extraordinary. He uses ancient Pali, Sanskrit, Devanagari. But he also refers to using what he calls celestial, Dhamma, and cosmic languages.
Languages not from this world.
That's the implication. And he claims this knowledge arises spontaneously from past life merit, not something he learned in a book in this lifetime.
Which ties back to that Traibhumi title, maybe. Knowledge from other realms.
It fits that narrative, yes. Knowledge recalled, not learned it. And then there are the physical materials, the Muon Sarn. He uses some seriously potent stuff.
Like what?
Things like sacred copper alchemical alloys or Janwanathan Khmer, that's alchemical alloy derived from ancient sacred Khmer artifacts. Very powerful. He also uses specific powders.
Powders.
Yes, things like leklai powders. Leklai is almost mythical, a kind of metallic element, sometimes thought to be meteoric, believed to contain living spiritual entities. Highly protective.
Okay, wow.
And also sacred prey powders. These are very potent, often derived from sacred earth, sometimes cemetery grounds, known for enhancing spiritual connection, attraction, but they require a master of immense purity to consecrate them safely.
So it's this combination, intense meditative focus, these possibly cosmic scripts, and extremely potent specific alchemical ingredients.
That whole package is what creates these incredibly charged spiritual batteries.
Okay, let's look at a prime example of this power in action, focused on protection. The Rian Hmom Yant Prad Zhao Taxin, issued in 2550 BE, so fairly recently.
Yes. And this coin perfectly shows Ajarn Mom's dedication to national service, to protecting those in harm's way.
The purpose seems crystal clear from the name engraved on it. Peri Pinas Awaracha Satripai.
Which translates roughly to remove all danger, enemies of the kingdom defeated. It's purely about invincibility and protection. Konggrapan Chadri power.
And its distribution was very targeted, wasn't it?
Highly specific and quite sensitive, this was a limited edition, not for general release initially. It was created specifically to be distributed to high-ranking officials, military officers, and police working on the front lines.
Where exactly?
In the three southernmost provinces of Thailand, near the Malaysian border, an area that has faced decades of insurgency, daily danger, bombings, ambushes, these amulets were intended as life-saving talismans for people in an active conflict zone.
Wow, and the design itself reflects that. King Taksin.
Yes, a powerful homage to King Taksin Maharak, the warrior king credited with saving Siam. The front shows him seated on his throne, symbolizing authority, power, Maha Amnaj.
And the back?
The back shows him riding his horse into battle. Dynamic, ready for action, the whole coin is absolutely packed with magical intention. It contains over 100 different specific yantras or invocations woven into the design, covering everything you'd need in that situation. Maha Amnaj for authority and fearlessness, Kong Grapan Chadri for invincibility, Klai Klad for escaping danger unharmed, and even Surmios for increasing status and rank.
Engineered for survival and victory.
Absolutely, engineered to overcome enemies.
And the connection to the state, to the establishment, it goes even further than just giving them to soldiers, right?
It really does. What gives this particular edition such immense prestige is the royal involvement.
Royal.
Yes. The main empowerment ceremony, the Jakapat Maha Puta Taiwa Pizik ceremony, was a massive event. But crucially, the actual royal state distribution of these amulets to the armed forces and police.
Who did that?
It was performed by Her Royal Highness Princess Sirivanavari Nariratana herself.
Wow. A member of the royal family distributing amulets from an anonymous master.
It's a staggering level of endorsement. It signifies that Ajarn Mom's Wicha, his spiritual power, was considered vital for the nation's security at the highest levels. It connects his spiritual protection directly to the authority of the state and the monarchy.
That's incredible validation.
And according to the reports, the results were seen almost immediately. Lots of stories came back from the southern provinces.
What kind of stories?
Miraculous life-saving events, officers in firefights, bomb blasts, situations where they felt the amulet directly protected them. For those soldiers and police, the Taksin coin became that essential spiritual battery, helping push back against the constant threat.
We see this pattern with his coins too, don't we? Like that Somdej Ruphamuyan one you mentioned earlier with his image. Prestigious editions, often using special metals.
Yes, exactly. That coin, made from alchemical alloys, empowered by over 100 top monks. It just shows his consistent ability to bring together this massive spiritual consensus for his projects, even while he stays completely hidden.
And it's not just about protection, is it? He makes other types too.
Oh yes. While the Taksin coin is about defense, his Nang Kwak amulets, for instance, those are images of a beckoning lady. For attracting wealth and customers, they are also incredibly popular. It shows the breadth of his Wicha. Protection, attraction, prosperity, applied across different areas of life.
Okay, so we've seen the power focused on life-saving national protection, but Ajarn Mom is just as famous, maybe even more so in some circles, for his mastery over Mahasane. Powerful attraction magic.
Absolutely. And for that, we have to talk about perhaps his most famous, certainly his most visually challenging, and arguably his most popular attraction charm, the Sadej Mayo Mwen Kali amulet.
Right. This one gets a lot of attention.
It really does. It's consistently described as one of his most popular and rare amulets. The demand is huge, and it's known for being extremely potent.
Potent for what? Exactly.
Primarily Mahasane, so intense attraction, including sexual attraction, but also for luck, choklap. Business success, kaya kai, gaining power and dominance over others. And it also provides kun krong, protection, especially against black magic.
Why protection? If it's an attraction charm.
Because its power is said to stem from an overwhelming aura of metta or loving kindness. And that pure metta naturally repels negativity and ill will.
Okay. But the imagery, let's be direct, it's pretty provocative.
It is. It depicts the Hindu deity Kali, known in this form sometimes as Mayua Mwang, in what the sources call the mudra of sexuality, essentially a position of sexual consummation.
Can you describe it?
Yes. The specific depiction shows Kali standing, often in a dancing or dominant pose, upon a central Shiva lingam, the phallic symbol of Shiva. And surrounding that central lingam are 4 other deities, each offering their lingams towards her.
So 5 lingams in total.
Exactly. This configuration is known esoterically as Si Ram Nirong, literally 4 surround 1. Visually, it's very intense, very sexualized.
Which, again, seems like a huge contradiction. Ajarn Mom, the teacher of non-self, anatta, non-attachment, using this incredibly sensual, explicit Hindu imagery for an attraction amulet. How does he explain that?
It's a critical question, and his explanation is purely philosophical. He directly instructs his followers about this amulet. He says basically, do not think of dirty things when you see this amulet's design,
Okay.
because all animals and humans in this world were born from the sexual act.
Ah, so he's reframing it, not as lust, but as the fundamental creative act.
Exactly. He's trying to elevate the imagery beyond base desire. He presents it as an emanation of pure, total meta power, representing the primal, generative force of existence itself, the raw, creative energy that brings life into being.
Accessing the energy of creation rather than just attraction.
That seems to be the intention. Viewing the sexual act symbolically as the ultimate source of creation, and therefore of universal compassion and mercy. When imbued with his focused spiritual power, this energy manifests as metta.
And how does that translate into practical effects for the wearer? Does it just make them more desirable?
It does that, yes, but the effect is broader, reflecting that meta interpretation. It's famous for transforming relationships. People who are angry with the owner reportedly become friendly again.
Enemies become friends.
That's the claim. It creates this aura of acceptance of mercy around the person.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly powerful in social situations.
I can see how that would be useful beyond just romance.
Immensely useful. Makes customers more agreeable, more generous, great for sales, negotiations, public speaking. The sources say it's highly sought after by artists, actors, singers, politicians, people who rely on public appeal.
And Casanovas too, presumably?
And Casanovas, yes, because that strong meta field also acts as a shield. It protects against jealousy, spite, and directed negative energy or black magic.
And the materials used for this one, does he incorporate specific muon sarn for attraction?
He does. The sacred pre-powders are often used as they enhance spiritual connection. But specifically for his Mahasane charms like the Kali amulet, sources mention the inclusion of sacred play payun oil.
Pla payun. What's that?
Dugong oil.
Oil from a dugong, the sea cow.
Yes. Dugongs are rare, gentle sea mammals, and their oil, particularly the tears or oil collected under specific circumstances, has a very long history in Southeast Asian folk magic for powerful attraction, believed to carry immense meta and charm.
Wow. So again, it's this blend, ancient folk ingredients like dugong oil, potent prey powders, his unique scripts, all charged with his meditative power focused on this specific interpretation of Kali.
It's a complete synthesis, material magic and high spiritual intention combined. It really shows why his amulets are considered such a trade secret for people seeking tangible results.
Okay, we've talked about the incredible power attributed to these amulets for protection, for attraction. The Wicha sounds amazing, but Ajarn Mom attaches a huge condition to all of this, doesn't he?
He does. And it's arguably his most important teaching, often delivered as a kind of cautionary note. He makes it absolutely clear that the ultimate power never lies solely with the amulet.
Or with him, the anonymous master.
Or with him. He establishes a very clear spiritual hierarchy, a universal law.
Which is?
Miraculous power is surpassed by merit. Merit is surpassed by karma.
Say that again?
Miraculous power is surpassed by merit. Merit is surpassed by karma. Karma is king.
So no matter how powerful the amulet, no matter how skilled the master,
karma and your own accumulated merit are stronger. This is the philosophical anchor for everything he does. It makes that whole spiritual battery idea conditional.
How so?
The real effectiveness, the true power manifestation of any sacred object he makes, whether it's a taxon coin protecting a soldier or the Kali charm smoothing social interactions, it depends entirely, 100%, on the virtue and the morality of the person wearing it.
The devotee's own character.
Exactly. The power only truly works, only fully manifests, if the owner is living an ethical life and actively, continuously cultivating merit. Good deeds, good thoughts, good speech.
So if you're trying to use the amulet to get away with bad stuff, or fix a life ruined by your own unethical actions?
It's not going to work. Not in the long run. The amulets cannot override the fundamental law of cause and effect, law of karma.
He really emphasizes the core Buddhist teachings then.
Absolutely. Impermanence, suffering, non-self, anicca, dukkha, anatta. He's adamant that no one escapes karma. No amulet can just magically save you if you're facing overwhelming current consequences from past negative actions.
So if they can't automatically save you, what do? What's their actual function when facing bad karma or danger?
Their function is limited, but still incredibly valuable according to his teaching. They can help to push back or delay negative karma.
Buy you time.
Essentially, yes, they create a window of opportunity. They might help you narrowly escape a disaster, giving you the chance to change your ways, to start cultivating positive merit, to turn things around. But he stresses emphatically that only merit can truly transform your life.
The amulet is a support, a tool, maybe a catalyst?
But merit is the actual fuel for change. Merit is the substance.
This completely flips the script, doesn't it? The master who spends a fortune giving away these potent objects ultimately tells you that your own virtue is the most powerful talisman you possess.
It shifts the entire power dynamic, away from reliance on an external object or guru, and back to the individual's responsibility for their own actions and spiritual development.
So how should people approach this?
He urges followers to base their faith on reason, on reality, not just blind belief or superstition, and to be diligent in cultivating merit.
What kind of merit? Big donations.
Interestingly, he emphasizes that the quantity of merit is less important than its regularity and the purity of mind behind it.
Consistency over grand gestures.
Exactly. Small, regular acts of kindness, ethical conduct, meditation done with a genuinely selfless intention are far more powerful in the long run than, say, one huge donation made for show. Purity of intent matters most.
It all comes back around. Ajarn Mom models selfless giving, the Don, through his spending and anonymity, Niranam.
That generates massive merit for him, which powers the amulets.
But that power is only unlocked for the user if they also commit to virtue and generating their own merit.
It's a complete self-reinforcing system based on ethical conduct. Hashtag outro.
You know, here's where it gets really, really interesting when you step back. Ajarn Mom, this figure who just vanishes so his work can be the focus. He's basically running the world's biggest free, non-commercial spiritual distribution network.
Yeah, entirely based on ancient traditions and just profound personal sacrifice. He's actively living the dissolution of the ego while creating this massive spiritual resource for others.
It's like he's modeling the very thing he's teaching.
And the ultimate challenge, the real deep dive he presents to anyone who encounters his work, is exactly what we just discussed, his amulets. They're tangible proof of his generosity, his mastery, no doubt.
Yeah.
But they're intrinsically conditional. They depend entirely on you, the wearer, generating your own virtue. It completely shifts the power away from the idea of a celebrity master, which he refuses to be, onto the practitioner's own consistent ethical practice and merit.
So his anonymity, his Niranam, holds true right to the very end. The final effectiveness isn't about him, it's about you.
Exactly. It keeps the focus where he believes it should be.
So consider this as we wrap up. Someone spending literally hundreds of millions of baht to create and give away millions of sacred objects, all while remaining completely anonymous. What does that action itself tell you about the nature of genuine generosity?
And how powerful must that spiritual technology, that Wicha, actually be if the person creating it cares absolutely nothing for the fame or recognition it could bring him?
What other insights, what other secrets about how reality works might just spontaneously arise from that level of sustained, selfless devotion?
That's definitely something for you to mull over, perhaps explore on your own.